how are you? I just got to check, make sure my microphone's on. Oh dear, there you go, pushing numbers. Everything's on record. I've got a checklist and I don't use it because I think I know it all. And I keep forgetting to do things. Forgot to turn the cameras on last night. Did a stream, that was with these cameras, but I didn't get it on the SD card. But anyway, there you go. Hi, I'm Steve Hay, welcome to Woodworking Masterclass, where anything can happen and most likely will. Before I get into it, I just got to do a little introduction to a video I want to upload tonight. So this relates to a stream I did yesterday. So excuse me while I just have a little introduction. G'day, CS, how are you? Mosey, how are you? Welcome from Toronto, welcome to Australia. Yeah, I've just got to do an intro for a video I want to put up tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how we go. So if it sounds as if I'm a bit weird, I am, but I'm doing this for a purpose. G'day, Steve here, Woodworking Masterclass. On a recent stream, I was asked to design a cabriole leg or go through the process. And we did it live on stream, so the camera work isn't as good as I would normally like it, but I thought it'd be worthwhile and you might learn something, and it's another video up there that could help people in the future. So here we go, how to design a cabriole leg. All right, got that over and done with. What I want to do today, I'm not having a rant today, I don't think. I haven't been anywhere today. Oh, I found a new coffee shop. For those that were with yesterday with my big rant on Macca's coffee, I found a new coffee shop and it's literally 600 metres up the road. No, I didn't walk up there, I drove my little sports car up there because I like driving it. Oh, for those of you that did know or didn't know or don't care, I don't care. I had an MX-5 but it had a rotten paint job, so I've just got it back from the panel beaters. And when I get more organised, I'll put it around the back and I'll take a camera out and you can have a look at it. The guys did a superb job. I reckon it looks better than when it was in the showroom nearly 30 years ago. So there you go. Furniture done right. G'day, mate. How you going? G'day, lads. You're still there. That's good. Have you got turned the compressor on your chair? Yes, I do. I do. And at the moment it's turned on. Hang on. I can see how close it is. No, it should be pretty right. This one doesn't leak as bad as the other one. The other one didn't leak. It was just I didn't put enough taffy tape on it. So there you go. Hey, Lucas, how are you? The Netherlands. There you go. I've got a few people following me from the Netherlands. So thank you very much for being on. And all those that are sitting back and just watching and wondering what happens, welcome. If you want to pop in, we're not horrible. We don't bite. We answer any questions, woodwork related or coffee related for that matter. Excuse me, drink water. Oh, thanks, furniture done right. Oh, I did. I'm going to give this guy a plug because he deserves it, and I would like to see his channel go places. It's called Makers Monday, and they did an interview with me a few weeks ago, and it was put up on Monday. So check that out if you like. Makers Monday. I've actually got it in the public community section of my channel, and it's on Facebook. A very, very interesting. All he does, he goes around Australia and overseas and gets people that are, excuse me, involved in a craft and asks them 6 questions. And everybody gets asked the same 6 questions. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's pretty lame. But boy, I tell you what, they were insightful. And I learned a lot about myself and what I enjoy doing just by answering those 6 questions. It was a calm me too. I didn't get excited. I was, I'm not quite introspective, but anyway. Anyway, check it out. Makers Monday, and subscribe. Give the guy a go. He's a fellow in Melbourne, and he's got this great idea, and I'd love to see it get off the ground. So there we go. G'day, Randall. How you going, mate? Hey, you shocked me. If that was right when you wrote on Facebook, mate, I thought you were about 38, 39, early 40s. So there you go. You're holding it well, mate. You're holding it well. Am I going to the timber show in March? Possibly not. What state am I in? A state of constant excitement. I'm in Queensland. Hey, Marco, how are you? Rendell. Yeah, no, I don't think I will, because I'm actually starting, Rendell, you want to do box making? I'm starting box making classes, and my kick-off date, I've just worked all this out, so I haven't released it yet on Facebook. So you're getting the late mail before it goes everywhere else. And I'm starting the workshop classes on Saturday, the 23rd of March. So I'm looking at a 10-week course. And in that 10 weeks, you'll make 2 boxes. Hey, what a great lead-in. That's what I'm doing today. You'll make 2 boxes. One is a plywood veneer construction, and the other one is solid timber with dovetails. So within the 10 weeks, you learn a lot of techniques that if you want to get into furniture making, look, basically, if you want to be a furniture maker, there's 2 things you've got to learn how to build. Boxes and frames. Because furniture will fall into both those categories. It's either a box or a frame. If it's a cabinet, it's a box. If it's a chair, it's a frame. Easy peasy. If it's a side table, it's a frame. If it's a bedside table, it's a box. If it's a drawer, it's a box. See? Easy, easy peasy. Hey, g'day, Richard! Mate, live! I'm impressed. And you didn't go to Macca's in the Champs-Elysees. Well, there you go. Tell you, the last time I was at the Champs-Elysees, there was no Macca's. In fact, I don't even know if they had cars. It would have been about 1963 was the last time I was in France. Long time ago, long time ago. Are you kicking back having a Bordeaux and a sausage, Richard, just out of interest? D.H. Craft, hi everyone, you be here from UK. Well, welcome. I was born in Surrey myself, lived a lot of my life in Sussex, and then got deported as an undesirable to the convict land down under. No, I love Australia, love Australia. What do we got? Hi everyone, you be here. If you could get 5 minutes, could you tell me what you would use? Hang on. If you get 5 minutes, could you tell me when you would use veneer pins and why? Veneer pins, okay, explain. Do you mean as in feathers for a mitered corner and you slot the veneer in to give strength to the corner? Or are you're talking about when you're pinning veneer if you're making a packet using a scroll saw or a Chevrolet or a donkey? If you can expound, I'll try that. Haven't fed the chickens and the horses yet. They're like, how's the apples going, mate? Good apple crop this year. They're looking over the fence. I was in 82. Well, we never met. Why not? All right, so what I want to do, I quickly streamed a while back, I don't know, it was maybe last week. I had 2 basic boxes I was going to make for this woodworking class that I'm going to do. I'll just get the other one over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll show you this. This is fun too. This is good fun. If you've got nothing to do one weekend, this is a great way to waste time. I don't know if you know, I've talked about him many times, Jeffrey Hanna, the designer and craftsman that built the Hanna cabinet. Check it out online. Awesome looking job. And I was down to his place a while back and I showed him this. And he looked at it and smiled and looked me straight in the eye and said, you've got a lot of time on your hands, haven't you? So I'll show you that in a tick. Stephen. Hey, Steve from Virginia. Well, g'day. Welcome to Brisbane, mate. Welcome to Brizzy. Yeah, so this was going to be the initial box. I've changed all my buttons around on my... Has that got... Excuse my thumb. I don't know if I've got dust over my lens here. It might be just on... Oh, I think it was. I think there was dust on my lens. There you go. This was going to be the initial beginner's box. So it's through dovetails, half lap dovetails, so you don't see them on the front, raised panel on the bottom, and veneered top with solid edging. When I actually made that, let me get back here. When I actually made that, I thought, no, it might be a bit hard for a raw beginner that knows nothing. So then I came up with this one, which I believe is much slimmer. This is without any veneer on it at the moment, obviously. I just wanted to know if the process would work. So you've got a raised panel, you've got rebates, a dado, a rebate, and a solid ply lid. So we put that together. I'm happy with the way that turned out. So now I'm going to make one for real. And the same time we did that, we veneered up. Oh, that's much better having those buttons there. This is Jarra. So I veneered that on 12mm, whatever you may call it, 12mm ply. I'm just looking at this other camera here. I'm just going to swing that one around. There you go. So I'm hoping I can get those shots that I did there. I'm on another camera that you can't see, but it's the one I actually take the videos from. In fact, I'll show you. I'll show you. I know a lot of you have seen it, but some people want to know what my setup is. There you go. Okay, so that camera there is the one you see when I do that. See, there's my finger. And that camera there is what I see on that screen, and that's what the YouTube videos come off. And then if you look over here, those two, see if I can do it. Whoop, that screen there and the one next to it are also the screens I watch that I do the YouTube videos on. This camera here actually has my lapel mic wired up to it. That goes to the stream, and also I've got an SD card in that for YouTube. And this one's a close-up camera that I use on YouTube. And then obviously the camera that I was showing you was another camera that I use, a webcam, that's here. So I use that. So, okay, what do we get up to? HD Craft, you didn't answer my question. Hello, Alan, how are ya? Could you tell our overseas friends about Jarra? Yeah, and I spelled it wrong. I'll have to go back. Oh, sorry. I'll have to go back in the description because I spelled it J-A-R-R-A. That's because I'm Australian, I can't spell. Jarra, beautiful. Beautiful. This is it in solid. And it's a Western Australian hardwood, big tree. And I'm not sure if it's a eucalypt. I could look it up. But anyway, it's beautiful timber. I like it. Well behaved. Doesn't have any, that I have found, doesn't have any bad traits. It's a lovely rich red colour, works well. Planes beautifully, as you'll see in a little bit. Veneer's okay. Splinters. Oh, if you get a Jarra splinter, you know you've got a splinter. Okay, that's where you got me scratching my head. You have panel pins for fine trim, etc. Then there are veneer pins that are supposed to be nearly headless and used for veneering. Now, I don't use that, but I'll tell you what I do. If I've got any, wait a minute, I'll see if I've got any, I don't know if I've got any here. I normally do, but what I use, bear with me, talk amongst yourselves. I'm in the process, DH, I'm in the process of organising my shed, workshop, and consequently a lot of the stuff that should be where it is isn't where it is. So I can find it. Now what I use when I do cock beating, which I don't use veneer pins. If I'm going to pin anything down, if I'm making a packet, and a packet is where you've got a stack of veneers. I'll grab some veneer because I need a little bit in a minute. Oh, whoop. Okay, this is Jarra veneer. Now, if I was making a packet, I was doing, I don't know, I might be doing a marquetry frieze with flowers in it, and I want 20 flowers, and I'm going to do all the flowers the same, so I can cut the leaves out, or the petals out. I might make a packet of 4, 5, 6 layers of veneer. Then I've seen them pin them. What I'd use is a stapler, or I just use masking tape and hold them together. What else would I use veneer pins with? No, I wouldn't use veneer pins. Stick with me though. Check me on another story. I'll have a look in some of my marquetry books. People might have used them in the past, but that's the only reason I think you'd use it. What I was going to say about cock beating is, if you look at drawers, particularly veneered drawers from the Victorian era, and a lot of solid drawers don't get cock beating. The idea of cock beating is that very fine piece of moulding that goes around the drawer front, and it protects the edge of the drawer from, if it gets caught, it won't peel the veneer off. And how I attach that, I use dressmaker's pins. And you cut the head off, you cut the pointy part off. I'll give you a demonstration in a stream down the track. So you've got a cylinder of steel that is the width or the diameter of a dressmaker's pin. And then you hammer them in. You hammer them in with a blunt end, and you hammer them through the cock beating into the drawer, and then nip it off, and then just countersink it, a bit of wax over the top or a bit of filler, and you can't see them. That's definitely a traditional furniture maker's trick. Oh, what have we got here? Yeah, I can't see why you'd use it. When I use it, good morning, Graham. How are you? Have you taken Sue a cup of tea yet? I took my Sue a cup of tea. Yeah, I use high glue when I veneer, which you'll see very shortly because I'm going to do some veneering. And that pulls it down so I don't have to worry about pinning it or holding. I'll put it in a clamp. I could just hold it with a veneer hammer, which I'll show you, but I prefer clamping mine overnight just to make 100% sure. What have we got? Oh, thanks, Moses. Oh, we back there, are we? Oh, no, here we go. Hello from Massachusetts. Well, g'day, Chilean. How are you? Thank you for dropping in. Rendell, I'm planning on organising my shed too. I want to set up a desk extraction network. Good luck. Oh, you mean all pipes and everything? I've got 2 dusties in here, 1 dusty out in the machinery part, and I've got a small dusty that I'm going to connect to a bandsaw in the students. I'm going to stop looking at that screen, start looking at the camera. The students' workshop. So, mate, if you're not using machines, you don't need dusties. Hand tools, that's the go. Greetings from Barcelona, Easy Rider. How are you? Good to have you back. If you're the same Easy Rider that was on before, because I had an Easy Rider that was following me on Twitch. There you go. She's off to work. I'm too late. Oh, mate, I wish I could be that quick and have excuses. No, oh, mate, check it. Look at that. You're in love. I found another one the other day. Listen, look at that. Look, there you go. 2 of them. 2 of them. And let's go here. You can have a good look. That one, I've just taken off the hot pot because I'm going to be veneering. And this one is going to go up into the student shed. But what I use with mine, if you can see in there there's green, I put radiator inhibitor, because it raises the temperature of the water to boiling point, which means I don't get bubbles, and therefore I don't get cavitation, which allows my boiler to last a lot longer. But that's the biggest problem when you buy the old boils, the old Kenwoods or Kedrons, or what was it? Kenwoods or something or other. If they've had if they've been boiled for a long time, they get cavitation, which actually puts holes in the metal, so when you fill up the water, it all drips out. And you've got to check that. If you buy a double boiler, very, very careful if you're buying online, sight unseen. You're better off to see it, fill them both up with water and hold them up in the air to make sure neither one of them leaks. Another thing I've used, handy hint, was the Brazilian waxing things you can get from beauty shops. Big problem with them. Oh, look, they'll last. You'll get 12 months, 18 months out of it. But they're aluminium, and the high glue will eat through the aluminium. TB, g'day from the Netherlands. Plan on using 50 pipe. That's the cheapest way of going, isn't it? You got to put gates in there. I'm back to Rendell with his shop. Thanks, Steve. What I need is a very fine nail. Didn't think of pins. Cheers, Debbie. Yeah, yeah, get dressmaker's pins. Trim them off. Away you go. Yeah, I normally, on a cock bead, that would be 3/32 of an inch wide. I would generally get 4 to 5 nails out of a normal dressmaker's pin. And you're better off to go for the real good ones, not those. Quilter's pins are too flexible, so the dressmaker's pins that you get in a little plastic container. Yes, Stephen, I'm going to use one very, very shortly. And the dovetail saw. Yeah, look at that. I've got an 8 TPI, 12 TPI, and a dovetail saw. Love them, love them, love them. So let's get into it, and I'll actually use one right now. So what I've got, we veneered this up. Let's see, what happens if I go all cams? Yeah, we veneered this up a couple of weeks ago, so it's ready to rock and roll. I was going to show you these too. Check it out. Hang on. I mean, you don't have to be crazy, but it helps. There we go. If you have a look at that, see the design in that? It's, what do they call them? Greek something or other. Grecian scroll or something or other. Anyway, what it is, I make them myself. Come back here. Hang on, I'm trying to get this other one in focus. There we go. And they're great for inlay work. I'll see if I can take a strip off. Oh. I've just looked at the end of that. Those, yeah, the no, who do you think was chewing on the end of that? Look at that, it was a weekend's work and the mutt's been into it. That's my dog, Bob. Well, good on you, mate. You're a good dog. I'm just going to see. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can see it much better now. That's after I've planed them. And what you do with that, then you cut a strip off and you lay it on a box as an inlay. That's making your own inlay stuff. Hang on, I'll cut one off only because I want to. Or can I? I don't know. No, it might be too hard. Oh no, it might not be. Wait a minute. I'm over here. Let me move this over here. I'll get some work done in a minute. There we go. Come over to the banding saw. Look at all those shelves. I can actually move around here. I've got to get me a Cuba out of the way. Oh. Put that over there. I set that camera up the other day, today too. So I've got saw cam. Oh, what a horrible sound. Okay, so I want a very, very thin slice. There you go, might do. I haven't got my Dusty set up to this yet. I don't even know if I've got this plugged in yet. I might not even have the bandsaw plugged in. Where are we going? There to there to there. Oh, okay. Oh, I've got to turn the other power on. Boom, 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 boom. That's turned on, that's turned on. Oh. That's turned on, supposedly. What's that one? Oh, that one does that. It's the trouble when you change around, everything that you used to have stuck in PowerPoints, you now realise, oh, that doesn't fit there anymore. Oh, there we go. There you go. That should be good now. If I've got, haha, look at that. We have light. If we've got light, that means we've got this too. I'll put this in a box now. I'll make that a little bit bigger, I think. There we go. There you go. Brake on that. Turn that off, put that up there. We should do a video on this because it really is. It's fun to do. And then when you lay it in a box, people go, oh, where'd you get that from? And the sad thing is you can go and buy it for $5 a metre or something or other. But anyway, that's that. I don't want to wet the inlay because it'll all fall from together. Shop about. Hang on, wait, no. Can I or can't I? All right, I'll quickly. If it falls from together, here you go. Ready? You're watching? Okay. There you go. And there's another one I did, which I don't know where it is, but I actually have another, or had another website called Fine Boxes, and I actually made the inlay to say Fine Boxes. So when I made a box, I used to just inlay that on the bottom. Really cool, good stuff. All right, let's get some work done because I've got to work out if I can do this. I'm using a number 8 TPI. Where are we up to? Hey, let's plan on going on the 28th. Can't wait. Oh, that's Formula 1. Yeah, good stuff. Blast gauge, 45-degree angle bends, slabs. Mate, it's going to be heaven. Heaven with a roof. You're welcome, Steve. Yeah, I know, I do. I like that, the dual fence. Yeah, but I'm getting back into doing more woodwork, so I'm still doing it, but woodwork's more fun. Besides the fact that I can still sharpen my students' tools. So there you go. Oh, look, we will. An insulator, yeah, mine's insulated. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, but it's insulated. Yeah, it makes a difference. I don't know where you're getting your insulation from, Rendell, but mate, if you want to give me a ring, there's a bloke out here and very good price, extraordinary insulation. It's this stuff here, which is double-sided aluminium foil with like bubble wrap in between. I have gone up with a dual thermometer and put one sensor on the roof side and one sensor directly under, and there's 13 degrees difference between the two temperatures. It's extraordinary. The students' room I'm just finishing plastering now, I've insulated that, and these hot days we've been having lately, boy, I've just walked in there and you can tell the difference. It's a good 8-10 degrees better off. And then when I get my air conditioner and it's going to be even nicer. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going to do a box similar to this. So I need to veneer up a lid. I'll put you on 3 cams. I need to veneer up a lid that's going to fit into here. So that is going to be 260. We go 270. 270 by 230 sounds good to me. 270 by 230. Grab a bit of plywood, and this is what the student's going to be doing. 270 by 230. Okay, let's try this bit. 270 by 230. No, that's not right. 230, you idiot. It's 270 that way, 230 that way. Okay. Actually, I need large bow squares, but I need the bigger one, so I'll use these. These are Nobex. They're really handy. It doesn't matter if I'm not super accurate, because I've allowed myself extra that I'm going to trim back later on. So it's 270 there, 230 there. Let's rock and roll. And I don't know if you saw the other day, but I actually put a video up on sharpening saws, so I know this saw is sharp. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, which one will we do there? We might do that one there. There you go. Starting to go off track a bit there too. I might try this way. Put a bit of wax on it. I mean, I could use a saw, you know, a table saw or something like that, but quite frankly, it's good to get practicing with hand tools. He's going horribly off line, but it's horribly off my line in my favour. So I'll clean it up with a plane very shortly. Get to the point where you don't care, you just want it cut. This is good actually, because I want people to get the whole experience of getting something and then actually having to make it square. But it's funny, you know, I'll use auger on that. This morning when I was working out what I was going to do, I bought a new squirt bottle the other day. Do you think I can find it? Really annoying when you want water. That's better. Yeah, I was working out what I was doing. I grabbed a bit of solid, this stuff here, and it was warped, twisted, bent. I came in here and I just grabbed my scrub plane, flattened it, and hogging plane, which this one is, and I thought, hang on, I've got a jointer out there, why didn't I use that? So I must be in hand mode. Okay, yeah, we're getting close. All right, that is close enough for my purpose. And I think, what do I do with that square? Whoops. I'll just tidy this one up here, where I made a bit of a mess of it. I'll just pull that off. You can't see that, can you? There you go. I just got to clean this bit up here. All this is, this hogging plane, it's a number 4 footprint. It could just be a Stanley or an Anchor or a Miller's Fall or a Clifton or whatever. But the blade at the bottom is actually convexed, so it rips a fair amount out at a push. Now just draw a line here, and we'll get that. I'll come back a bit. We'll get that down to line, and then we'll veneer it up. That will do, and all these horrible bits here doesn't matter because they're going to be covered and we won't see them. So that's square. That's square. That's square. And that's square. Close enough. Just one pass and we'll have that fixed. Okay, 4 passes and we'll have that fixed. There we go. I've just looked at the clock and I said to my wife, "It won't be long, darling." I think I'm going to be in trouble. Anyway, we'll get this veneered up. That's the main thing. Where's a bit of paper? So don't make a mess everywhere. This is just baking powder, so it's no big deal or anything like that. Just saves the bench from getting muck all over it. Grab a piece of this. As I've said many times, there's a right way and a wrong way to lay the veneer. If it bends that way, it won't bend that much this way. That's the side that I lay down. So I just scribble pencil all the way down there. So then when I'm using it at a later stage, if it's got pencil on it, I know that's the side that goes down. Now you can cut it with a knife, which I normally do, but this I'm not going to bother about. I'll just use a pair of scissors. It's not that critical. And that can go in the bin, and that I'll save for a job down the track. And what I'm going to put on the top of this is it's Myrtle veneer, Chilean Myrtle veneer. Normally I go with the grain direction on the plywood. Again, I stuffed it up this time, but it doesn't matter so much because this is actually paperback. So I'll just draw that there, and actually I will cut this with a knife. Oh, because this stuff is a lot more expensive than the Jarra. Okay, spin it this way. Okay, there we go. Save that for later on. Let's do a glue up. What are we doing? I'm hearing your woodwork's fun, rewarding and therapeutic. It is. It can be extremely frustrating at times as well. But that's that. We'll also do a video on how to make a veneer hammer. That one's a little bit over the top. That's ebony, coca-cola and brass. Now I have in the past, I've toothed the plywood. I'm not going to worry about it with this because it's a quick box, but I just want to get the steps down so I know what I'm doing. This is hide glue I'm using. It's at 70 degrees, and when I'm using a double boiler, whoops, I might put that on there. It means I set the temperature of the hot plate to 100. By the time the temperature of 100 from the hot plate has gone through the cast iron, through the water, through the cast iron again, it gives me 70 degrees. I've read some books and they say 55 degrees, but for me 70 degrees works. It just gives me a little bit longer work time. And I've never had a problem with it. Try not to go too much above it. You know, don't bring it up to 100 degrees because it'll go off. And believe me, when it goes off, you will know it's gone off because it stinks. There you go. Okay, with a veneer hammer, a lot of people think you hold a veneer hammer by the handle. No, you hold it that way and this acts as a counterweight. If the veneer starts to lift up, it's not an issue. All you do is put glue on the outside and it'll lay straight back down again. Okay, so that's good enough there. That would actually hold, but I'm going to put it in the clamp anyway. Okay, we'll put that over the top of that. This should stay down fairly well because it's paper backed. And you start from the middle and push the glue out. What you're actually doing, you're not pushing the glue out, you're actually getting rid of any air pockets in there. As soon as you've done that, then you've got atmospheric pressure working for you. Put them into these 2 cords I've got. And then I shall put them in a press and take them out tomorrow. And they're going to be honky-dory. So nice to have a press I can actually get to now. Okay, that's done. What was it? Oh, we're going to do a sprung joint. We'll get that out of the way too. I'll swap those over. Oh, be quiet. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Actually, DH, are you still with us, DH Craft? I remember vaguely in the back of my mind with Patras, they a lot of times use, if you look up Patra, I think it's P-A-T-E-R-A. It's a pretty old marquetry design, about 1700s, I think they first came out with it. And I was reading some of the other day, I was reading a Spanish book on marquetry. Not in Spanish, I'm not that clever. But they were saying the reason that they use Burl in that particular design is because when they put the pins to hold them in place, the Burl can hide up the pinholes. So I'm going to go and I'm going to check that out. I'm going to reference that and I'll get back to you. But I don't use them. Okay, the other thing, that's the top. The thing that I want people to do in the class is, for the bottom, make a raised panel, and I need to join 2 boards together. Now, I saw someone the other day, I won't say who it was, but they said, hey, just glue them together like that. Yeah, no, wrong. You can, but it's not the right way to do it. So I've got to work out, this was one length. I've got to work out which end was which. No, must be. No. There you go. Okay, so that was one length of timber, and it's been sawn down there, not very accurately. Now I'm going to do a slip joint, which means the grain, in theory this is, because timber has a mind of its own that goes off in all different directions. In theory, the grain is running in the same direction. So, if I do a slip joint, which is that means that grain should still be running in the same direction. So, with that, I'm going to put a sprung joint in here. Decide which one I want. Actually, I think that looks nicer. So, I'm going to put a sprung joint in there. And then we'll join it together. Now, what a sprung joint is, I'll show you how to do them. You plane a dip in both sides. So in essence, this is exaggerated out the wazoo, but in essence, you've got a dip. I don't know if you can see that. That's like I can't see that. Pencil line, but it's got a dip on both sides, an inch and a bit in. So the theory is, and it's not a theory, it actually works, when you glue that together and then you clamp it, these 2 faces here are forced together. What it does, it preloads the ends here, because you put extra pressure on the middle where there's less material, and it puts extra pressure on the ends. So when it gets hot and the timber loses moisture, this is going to expand. And as it expands, hang on, I've got to work this out. No, it loses moisture and it contracts. Yeah. So as it contracts, if you have these butt joined together and it contracts, that's what happens. And you get a split. But if you preload these by having this sprung joint in the middle, all it does, it allows these two pieces here to expand because you've compressed the grain. It expands and you won't get a crack. So there you go. So let's do a sprung joint. The other thing when you're doing, if you're joining two boards together, it's much easier, put a bit of water in there, it's much easier to do two boards together rather than one at a time. And here's why. If you do two boards together singularly, this has to be dead square, this has to be dead square, which is primarily what you want anyway. But it's very hard to do sometimes. If you're joining two boards together, it doesn't matter if you're not straight, because if you do these at an angle, this angle will fit that angle. So if it's not dead square, it might be at 70 degrees or 85 degrees, it doesn't matter, because when you put them together, they will nicely fold into each other. So there you go, there's a tip of the day. So we'll just put these in here, like so. Oh dear. Oh, that's a bit rugged, isn't it? I like the sound of that. Let me spin these around. So you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Okay, now they're both square and flat. And I'm really not interested if they're in 90 degrees. They most likely are, but if they're a little bit out, as I said, when I fold those together, they're going to join up perfectly. Now what I want to do, you can either use a smaller plane if you wanted. Okay, I'll use a number 2. You most likely haven't got a number 2, but if you did, I can just plane a little bit out of the middle. Come here, only one a little bit. Okay, so, well, you could use a block plane if you wanted. Okay, I'm just taking a little bit out of there. How you do it with the larger plane is, you come in here and when you get to the point you want the dip to start, push down on the toe really hard and gouge it, and then when you're coming up the other side you release the pressure. So it's like that. So you're actually pushing the blade down into that bevel. Now if I hold those together, I should be able to see light between the two of them, which I can. I don't know if you can, but I can. You're going to have to take my word for it. So, oh, that's a better shot. Okay, if I hold those together, you can actually see a gap in there. That is not as big as it looks. There you go. It does have a slight gap in there. So all I'm going to do with that is glue it together and clamp up the middle. And that is a sprung joint. Leave it overnight. There's another thing you can do with hide glue, which is really, really good. It's called a rub joint. I don't know if we can do it with this one. I'll see. Seeing I've made it a sprung joint. But hide glue is terrific for this. I'll give it a go. I can't guarantee it, but we'll give it a go. So I'll just put hide glue on those, and I'm going to put them together. And I've rubbed them. I don't think it's going to work. No, it's not going to work because the gap's too big. But normally you can rub it, and then all of a sudden you'll feel it go clunk, and it's glued. and it won't move. But because I've got that big gap in the middle, it's not going to work. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, it'll fit in this vise over here. So oh, that was lucky. Look at that. Oh, boy. Oh. Wait a minute. This is a delicate operation here. Oh, I would have been in deep doo-doos if that had broken. Oh, I've lost my spoon. Just call me Mrs. Bouquet. Nearly dropped me Royal Dalton cereal bowl. Wouldn't have made the missus happy at all. I found one of those too. Good. That's good. So this, most likely, will fit in this vise, I think. Yeah. So I'll just put it in there. Okay, that's good. We'll leave that. There it is. We'll leave that. Tomorrow it'll be ready to go. So I didn't get half as much done as I wanted done because I've been talking. Not unusual for me, I suppose. Let me catch up and I'll go and see. Ah, dear. And the water tip. Where are we up to? I had installation fitted when the oh, okay, not a drama. I'm back there. Yeah, I wouldn't use Japanese saws on ply. Yeah, water's good. If you've got those of you that missed it, if I had a squirt bottle, it's better. Throw a bit of water in your vise and boom, it holds it really, really tight. Costs nothing. No, don't mention beds, mate. I've been promising my missus a bed for 3 years. Got the timber, got the mattress, haven't got around to making it yet. My preference for which way up for the veneer. I knew someone was going to ask that because I didn't explain it. When veneer's cut, it comes off the knife. It's either sliced or rotary cut. And when it comes off the, knife, that's how it comes off. The knife comes down and it rolls that way. So all these fibres on the back have been cut, have been broken because it's a chisel blade. The fibres on this side haven't been broken, so they're intact and they'll take a finish a lot nicer and a lot easier to clean up. The other side is, with this side being broken, the glue has a better adhesive factor because it can get into the broken fibres. Did that help, Graham? Did that help? So that's the reason for the upside and the downside. Now, what you got to watch is that whatever you do, if you do upside or downside, you might lay the first one, oh, I did it upside down, I'll remember next time. No, do everything upside down if you've laid it upside down. The reason being because of what they call chatoyance, which is when the light hits the timber and you get that flash, particularly in fiddleback. But timber itself would normally, it's got this sheen. And if you've got it downside and upside, when you go like that, one part's going to flash and the other part's going to go dull. So make sure that everything's laid the same way, and that way you won't get any disparity. That's the big issue I have with book match, because book matched you go like that. That part is up, that part is down, and when you go in the sunlight, this part will flash and this will turn off, or this will flash and this will turn off. So I prefer doing slip matching like that. Sometimes I don't, but I do prefer to do slip matching. Did you say that Myrtle veneer was paperback? Yes, it was. Can you explain the term paper? Yeah, it's easy. It's got paper on the back of it. There you go. Paper. See? Veneer in the front, paper on the back. It's particularly useful for veneers. I've got a heap of ambonia kicking around here somewhere. I did have. Where'd it go? There you go. Oh, okay. Okay, this is ambonia, which is a burl that comes off rosewood tree. Very, very pretty, but watch this. See how easy it breaks? If that had paper laid on the back of it, it wouldn't. So that's one reason I like some paperback in burls particularly. The downside is, if you're going to do marquetry with paperback, you've got to make sure that you're using paperback for all the marquetry because the thickness varies. And the other thing is, with paperback, you're working with about 0.3 of a millimetre. I don't know what that is. What's that, a 32nd of an inch or a 64th of an inch of timber. So when it comes to finishing it, if you sand it a little bit too hard, you'll go straight through the veneer. That's a downside. But, you know, if you're aware of that, it's great stuff. I got you thinking, you have. I'm not going to sleep until I find that out, DH. Sue says hi from Oz. So what's she doing home early? How do you tell the different sides of veneer? I just told you that. Rendell, listen. I'll come in, I'll give you a personal lesson. I'll come in the shop. There you go. Where do I source my veneers? Yeah. I think it's Cyatoience. I think. You were pretty quick on that one, Rendell. Where do I source my veneers from? My shed next door, I've got about 96 different varieties of veneer. In fact, I've got a veneer rack over here that I'd have at least 50 or 60 different varieties in. I've got another veneer rack up there that's got about 20 or 30, I think. And then in my shed, yeah, I've got heaps. But it's good stuff. And the thing I love is a lot of the stuff I've got you can't get anymore. But I have been collecting it for over 30 years. So that's the story behind that. Now, I was going to do this. I might just quickly plane these up. I'll just have a... Oh! Yeah, that's high glue. I don't know how long that's been in. I must be getting tired. I was just about to say, I don't know how long it's been in the fridge for. But yeah, that's stuck. So I'll just leave that now. It doesn't. Whoop. Oh dear, oh dear. The good thing about high glue is if you knock it, it'll become unstuck. Oh, look at that. That'll teach me. There we go. Is that going to hold? No, I've stuffed me sprung joint. Nah, doesn't matter, I'll glue it up again. Oh dear. I love live television. It's great. Let's put it back in here and leave it, Stephen. Don't be a show-off. Put it in the vise and leave the damn thing alone. Here we go. Really is nice stuff though. Here we go. And you can see where that actually I might do it. I'm trying to redeem myself here. Where that gap is, when I squeeze that, you'll most likely see the glue come through the gap. Okay, can you see glue coming through here? Nothing here at the moment. And then I squeeze it up, and there we go. The glue's just starting to come up through that gap. There you go. So I'm leaving now. I'm not going to touch it again. Not, not never. No, next time. What was I going to do? I'll quickly throw a plane up these, and don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. If I don't go out, I might go out in the morning. I might do a stream in the afternoon because I really want to get this sorted. So let's go that one there. You're messing up because you know, yeah, you got it. You're spot on. I know I'm going to be in doo-doo when I get home. Oh, get home, get up to the house. Got to get that squirt bottle. I bought one from the big green shed the other day. And there you go. See the difference? That just, oh, won't move. There we go. And same on the other side. You can hear the hit and miss, even in plywood. You might think that it's flat, but it's not. I'll do these two, then I better sign off, I suppose. So out of these sides, I've got, yeah, the long side and the short side, and a bit spare, so that I can keep. I can make a smaller box later on if I want to. That's glue you can hear on the bottom of the plane, which possibly isn't ideal, but that's the way it goes. And I'm starting to chip out along the tops, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get solid edging in there eventually. So I will stream the next steps because I've got to get it worked out so I don't look like a complete idiot. Oh, so I'm happy to look complete idiot to you lot because you don't know where I live. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, Ed Black, hey, thanks for joining up. Appreciate that hard energy out to you. That's wonderful. I appreciate that very much. You would make a great, no, I wouldn't. I tell you, I'm a rotten neighbour. I have lived where I live. I think we've been here 9 years. I've not spoken to the neighbours that side for I don't know how long. I definitely hadn't talked to them since we put the fence up. And the neighbour the other side, if I met them in Coles or Woolies, I wouldn't recognise them. So I'm a good neighbour in as much as I keep to myself, but I'm not a good neighbour if you want to come around and borrow stuff. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I don't know, mate. Are you going to Lost Trades Fair in May? I don't know. It depends on Terry. Well, the other thing is I'll most likely be teaching then Rendell, and I don't know if Terry's going either, because I generally just go up to help support him and play with his planes, which is, for those of you who don't know, Terry Gordon from H&T Gordon Planes. And the Lost Trades is a great one if you're anywhere in Queensland and you can get down to Toowoomba. I can highly recommend Lost Trades. They have all sorts of trades that no one has anymore. So 4:30 in the morning, oh, it's 7:30 here, and I'm going to go. I can feel it. I can feel a movement in the force. Oh dear, oh dear. That's a long weekend, is it? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll still teach. Doesn't worry me. Oh, what date? I think my course starts. I'm starting on the 23rd of March, and it finishes on the 25th 25th of May, so I don't know. Well, anyway, excuse me. I did get some things done. I hope I answered some questions. But I better go up to the house now because I'm going to get excommunicated otherwise. Because I said, no, darling, won't be any late nights. I'll be back up there by 6 and she'll have me dinner ready for me. And if I'm any longer, I'll be wearing it. Derek, oh, g'day, mate, New South Wales. Too far away. I think actually, no, at the moment, as far as I know, they're doing lost trades in somewhere north of Melbourne and the one in Toowoomba. I did have their lost trades mug here somewhere, but I switched it over to my king chrome mug because I can't find it. It might be up in the other shed. Do not know. Let me turn the glue off. Don't leave that on. So anyway, thank you everyone. Thanks for the mods. Thanks for everyone that joined in. I was glued to today's stream. Thanks. Well, that's nice to know, and I hope it wasn't too tacky for you, Laz. And we'll make no bones about it, seeing it's hide glue. Next one is, oh, cool. Oh, that's good. Oh, well, if Terry does that, I might get down to New South Wales. I don't know. But in the meantime, thank you, everyone, for your support, the mods, people that jumped in, people that are still watching and they haven't joined in, please join in. It's all good fun. Thank you for all the new people that have joined in. That's great, from Netherlands and DH and Steve and well, Rendell, lovely to talk to you. Lovely to talk to you too, Richard. And Ed and Graham, he's on inventory. When I do stock take, Graham's there. Moses, yeah, everyone that made it a great stream. So I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. But in the meantime, this is Steve pulling the shed. Put my teeth back in. This is Steve pulling the shed door down, saying, remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe. Look after yourself, be nice to each other, and I look forward to having your company in the shed, at the bench, again, very, very soon. So till then, keep well, God bless, see ya.